Man, it is so bizarre to see how Disney is sabotaging itself. Like, 10 years ago, if you were to say, V, we're going to give you a job at Disney, and we want you to tear it down, destroy its brand, destroy its IPs, make it so that everyone dislikes Disney. I would have said that it's impossible. Like, there's no way. Disney is such a juggernaut. Its stories are known around the world. Everyone loves Disney movies. It is absolutely impossible to do what you're asking me. And yet, they have succeeded. They have succeeded in doing everything wrong. And you gotta assume that it is done with malice. Because if it was done due to incompetence or stupid people, they would at least get something right every now and then. But in the case of Disney, literally everything that they have done was to spite the audience. Like, look at Snow White. If everything that has gone wrong with Snow White. So, first of all, no one wants another reboot. I don't know why Disney does them. They say, oh, well, it's to keep our IPs. I think if that's the case, like, you can make like a 5 or 10 minute movie just to renew your IP. Like, you don't really have to make these long ass productions that people are just sick and tired of them. Like, Disney was renowned for creativity and originality, and to see them like rehash the same stories over and over again, and then add insult to injury, thinking that, well, we need to adapt them to a modern audience, so let's add dubstep in them. Let's current date them. Let's, make them good, because the original storyteller, yeah, those were evil people. I mean, kissing the princess, that's sexismus. We don't do that in 2023. So that is like the first wrong thing that they did, pushing something that the audience doesn't even want. But then listening to people like Peter Dinklage. So Peter Dinklage, like this is the most bizarre thing that I have ever seen, right? Peter Dinklage says that it's offensive that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves exist, and that Disney should do better. And almost any person that is normal, any person that has like two neurons to rub together and make a synapse, was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But like, he's got the right to free speech. I mean, he's got the right to free expression, but like, he's just an actor. Why do you listen to him? There's no reason, right? Like, he's not an expert on these things. It's not what the public even cares about. But no, Disney went, yeah, actually, Peter Dinklage is right. We are going to remove the Seven Dwarfs. The most bizarre decision that I have ever seen, right? So Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is going to be cast without dwarves. The evil queen is going to be more white than Snow White. They're going to cast a diverse character in the role of Snow White. Again, no reason. This is not what the market wants. This is not what people in China want. This is not what people in Romania want. The modern audience itself doesn't want this, but Disney goes like, no, we get to decide what the modern audience is, not the audience itself. So they make these bizarre casting choices, and then you actually have actors that are suffering from dwarfism, being vindictive and saying like, Peter Dinklage, what the fuck, you just costed me my job. And I do agree with their sentiment, right? Like, Peter Dinklage also got a job specifically because of his height, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to play in Game of Thrones in the role of a dwarf. And he managed to become a multimillionaire because of that, and he managed to get a voice and a podium because of that, and then he uses that power to kick the ladder away from other people. And you have to wonder, if a person is so vindictive and so mean, if you as a company listen to it, what does that say about your PR? But anyway, right, they go forward with this, and they cast like the most diverse group of dwarves that you've ever seen. And they just look bland. Like, it doesn't look like a fairy tale. It looks like something that some people at the university put together with a very limited budget. And this is supposed to be a $300 million production. We're going to go into that in a little bit, but apparently, the actress itself, Ziegler, was very vocal about issues. So when you're an actor, like it's good if you're quiet, because like you don't want to separate the fandom. You know, every actor has like political leanings, but you don't want them to be made public. You want everyone to watch your movie. You want to be inclusive, like whether someone is a Republican or a Democrat. You want them to watch your movie. But no, Ziegler apparently goes out. She says that she didn't like Snow White when she was a kid. Like, she didn't watch it. And because it's current day, we're not going to have romance anymore. It's not about the prince. Like, obviously, this upset people. And especially, like, people who want to watch romance stories and, you know, little girls that do care about the prince getting with the princess and forming a family and having a castle and shit. Well, apparently, that movie is not for them. So the movie was tanking badly, and now they're deciding that it's going to be delayed for 1 year, and they're going to reshoot, and the dwarves are going to be made CGI. So, yet again, actual actors that suffer from dwarfism are going to be able to play. Thank you, Peter Dinklage, I guess. And you're having a live adaptation with CGI. What is the point then? Why not just have the whole thing as a live adaptation? Why? None of this makes sense. None of it. To be fair, though, at least it looks better. Like, at least the dwarves look like what I would expect from watching Snow White. But on the other hand, I am genuinely curious if Peter Dinklage is ever going to get a job in Hollywood again after this. And if it does, probably not from Disney. I mean, he is the one responsible for tanking this. But I want to ask another question, though. And this is something that I'm legitimately curious about. Why the fuck do movies cost $300 to $400 million to make? Like, unironically, this is a question. Why are they so expensive? Do they have to be this expensive? Like, I get it. You know, CGI expensive and all the special... Do they need them, though? Like, how many people need to see Snow White to justify this expense? And the thing is, like, there are so many bloated spots on the set. My God. They legitimately have, like, consultants that are reading the script to see if there's anything offensive, and they charge around $200 to $300 an hour. This is like part of the problem, that you have like so many individuals. I will tell you something, chat. I will tell you something that really bewilders me. As a game developer now, I talk with other game developers, and they tell me that like there are people that make like a AAA looking game, and I ask them, wow, like how many people do you have? Do you have a studio? And they say, no, I got like 10 to 15 people working on this. I'm like, what? 10 to 15 people working on that? And it's true. The reason they actually have 10 to 15 people working on that is that they do not bloat their company. And when you think about it, in the past, most video games that were made by small studios. Like even Blizzard, back in the day when they released Diablo 2, they didn't have that many people. And now you have studios with 200, 300 people, and they are incapable of producing good products. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.